Well, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic evening. All right, it's a 12 days of Christmas. Y'all know I love to sing. I love having a song. But look, we are in this space together. We got a couple of more days. By the end of the week, y'all, it's going to be done. So if you ain't registered to win something, you haven't gotten your nuggets, okay, tonight is the night. So I want you to go grab your pen and your paper because my sister right here, Penny DePaul, she about to start dropping down knowledge on how you could get your complete life together. So it's time to get organized. Yep, we're going to get our life together, y'all. And I understand it. Don't be afraid. Just come inside the room. But before we get into this conversation, let me go ahead and introduce myself to you. My name is Dineen Merriweather. I am the CEO and founder of Queenpreneur's Jumpstart Program. It's the #1 training environment for women in the world looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, and build a highly profitable business. You may be wondering, like, how can she make that type of promise? Well, within the community, you'll build your courage, confidence, and competence so you can accept, believe, and commit to what it is that God has called you to do. Now, tonight at 8 o'clock p.m., what's today? On a Monday, y'all, we're about to get into this conversation. So, Penny, if you don't mind, I want you to introduce yourself to my community and tell them what it is that you do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's session. My self-declared purpose in life is to enrich people's lives by listening for authentic creativity and empowerment. In addition to being a life coach for over 20 years, I'm a painter, a writer, a dancer living in Raleigh, North Carolina. I have a master's degree from the Ohio State University, and I'm a certified leader of the course Reclaim Your Power that teaches 3 simple steps to go from disempowerment to empowerment with velocity, like Dineen is empowered.
Yes, for sure.
With nearly 40 years in an executive career that had me managing and directing 2 to 6 different nonprofit organizations at the same time, each with its own goals, agendas, meetings, board members, committees, with little or no staff to support me. I will share with you how I learned to be this effective and efficient. But back in high school, I had a really good looking history teacher. I had a crush, I'll be honest, who required us to write a research paper every 2 weeks. There was no time to dally, although I'm sure some did. I went to the library the afternoon of the assignment and carried home an armload of books to start my research that weekend. I also had a speech class that gave us an outline for writing a paper or a speech. And my mother was a list maker, lists of presents, lists of grocery, lists of this, lists of that. All of these armed me with some of the necessary skills and tools for getting things done on a timeline.
All right.
But even if you're saying to yourself, I didn't have those growing up, don't worry, because these tools and skills can be taught and you can be trained to implement them.
That is awesome. And I am so excited that we're having this conversation today. LaShawn, let me shout you out. I saw you out there saying, hey, y'all, Mommy Harriet. Hi, Penny. Hi, Dineen. Hey. Oh, Linda, I see you up in here. Okay. I want you to put in the chat right now. Put some of your goals in the chat. What do you see yourself mastering, conquering, achieving in 2023, right? Because 2022 is over. I mean, you still have time. You can put in the chat. I still have time, Dineen. Don't play me. I still have time. You do still have time. But tonight, Penny and I, we're going to have a conversation about what actually causes you to be disorganized and procrastinate and showing up late to situations where you agreed to be at a certain time. So, Penny, tell us what actually caused individuals to actually struggle with their organization or procrastination or being late.
Well, there's a number of things I can think of. They don't have any clear set goals. Their priorities aren't clear. They're taken out by disruptions. They have lack of scheduling structures.
Okay.
Lack of accountability or lack of an accountability partner. no ownership or buy-in. They have lack of boundaries, or they have fears or worries that are clouding their thinking, like disempowerment, spending too much time in their head, not in action, not having the needed tools or skills.
Yeah, that is a thing. I mean, sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And I know you and I, Penny, know a whole lot about that. I said that I was going to actually share how our relationship started, which I think is just so important. So, Penny and I do a lot and have done a lot of self development work in Landmark worldwide. And that's where I met Penny and some of the seminars that I used to go to in Raleigh when we were in Raleigh in the Research Triangle Park, and then later on 15501 at the Sheraton, where we actually met each other and spent time together. And then during the pandemic, like Penny was like this amazing stand for me to make sure that I was still connected to people and that I was still engaged and upbeat and had a positive outlook on what was happening. And that connection kept me going during the pandemic and allowed me to create free sessions for other people, because we were in free sessions together to help us manage how we were feeling and what we were doing during the pandemic. But tonight, Penny is here to drop these nuggets on how we can actually get organized in a structure that will serve us instead of a structure that would defeat us. Oh, okay, Tisha Merriweather, you won today. I hope you saw that. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's go with point number one. Point number one, you said would be the lack of clearly set goals. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. I'm sure many of you have heard the analogy of the jar with the big rocks,
Yeah.
pebbles, and sand inside.
Yes.
And your big rocks are your big goals, and then the pebbles are smaller ones, and the sand is all those distractions and the stuff that just gets in the way. Oh, squirrel! Oh, shiny light! Oh, let's do this, let's do that. And to be honest, I get my distractions too. But goals are the big rocks. And what do you want to accomplish and by when? See, a lot of people want to accomplish stuff, but they don't say when, and then they don't set up a structure for it. So, as a results and productivity coach, I work with my clients to create a 12-month plan wherein we look 12 months down the road and ascertain what the client wants that future to be like and what they will be accomplished by then.
Okay.
The vision of your future pulls you forward.
Okay, so listen, let's go back, Penny, because you're going too fast. They got to get this inside the chat.
All right.
Now, the first thing that you say, okay, LaShawn, you trying to keep up. I get it. So, what do you want to accomplish and by when? And set up a structure to accomplish goal. Thank you. Okay. So did she miss anything, Penny, around that conversation right there? We want to make sure that we get it because you're actually giving them nuggets that can help them. She said most people know what it is that they want to achieve, but when you don't actually talk about by when and make it exist somewhere, right? And decide when you want this thing to show up. You really just wishing, hoping for it, praying for it, maybe even had the desire for it, but there's nothing in place. She said there's no structures in place to actually make these things happen. So guess what you're going to continue to do? Think about it, pray about it, wish about it, have desires about it, maybe even want it. Oh, she said cross your fingers and hope it comes. That part. All right, I'm sorry. I had to interrupt you. Okay, go ahead. What else?
That's all right. That's totally fine. And the whole idea that you understand your big goals are your big rocks.
Right.
And it's all the other stuff like the sand in your shoe that wears you down. Somebody once said to me, it's not the mountains ahead of us that wear us down. Right. It's the sand in our shoe.
Yes, that annoying little booger that causes us all the pain, discomfort while we're climbing the mountain and going up the high hills, winded, using all our endurance. But it ain't that's getting us knocked over. It's not that who's taking our faith and our wind from behind us. It's the little piece of sand that's inside that shoe rubbing up against that big toe.
Yeah. So it's and it's also like what Lewis Carroll wrote in Alice in Wonderland. Alice was talking to the Cheshire Cat, and she said, "Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?"
Right.
And the Cheshire Cat said, "That depends a good deal on where you want to get to. And
Right.
Alice says, I don't much care where. And the Cheshire Cat said, then it doesn't matter which way you go.
That way.
Because when you're traveling, you always put your destination in the GPS, and then the route becomes clearer. And you know by
Absolutely.
when you're going to get there.
Absolutely. So let me tell you, that was so amazing when I heard an analogy too about the GPS. And here are some of the things that we get caught up on, right? Sometimes we're trying to look too far down the road before we take the first couple of steps. So when you enter in an address or a place that you want to go inside of your GPS, you actually see the destination, how long it's going to get you there, and all the things it's going to take, right? But you can't get to the end destination until you start taking what the first few steps that's shown on your screen. So
Gas up the
sometimes,
car.
say it again.
Gas up the car.
Okay, so here she is. She's talking about the steps of preparation, because this is all about organizing, because you ain't getting in no car if you ain't got the gas, if you ain't checked the air pressure in the tires. Hopefully you wash the car and vacuum the car out, right? But systematically, or some form of order, you kind of get there some things that need to happen before for the other, but you definitely still have to plan for it and know that this is supposed to happen, because it will make all of the difference of how quickly you get there and how prepared you're going to be when you get there. All right. Anything else around lack of clearly set goals?
Well, one of the things that someone, Dineen and I know, says, you set your goal and then you double it. For example, if you want to be earning $50,000 by the end of next year, double it to 100,000
Come on.
and shoot for the larger goal, because it actually pulls you further. You might get to 75,000,
Come
but if you
on.
sit with 50,000, you might only get to 25,000. So double your goals and shoot for the bigger goal.
Look at that. I love that. Okay. Yes. Come on, LaShawn. Come through with the scribe. I love that. I think that's a good analogy and a way to think about it. So, all the goals that you have, okay, Linda, to be debt free in 2023, whatever that number goal is, she said to double it. I'm sorry, I had to be the person to tell you this, but double it. So, that's to ensure that you get to the goal that you have, right? So, it's going to have you play the game a little greater. You're going to go a little harder. You're going to pay more attention to what you're doing with your money. She said double the goals. Okay. So hopefully that's a commitment, Linda, but that's what she's putting out here. You can try it on later and talk to your financial coach or whoever you may be working with to get your finances together. But she's saying double it. Whatever that goal is, whatever that number is to get you debt free in 2023, double the goal. All right, so let's go to number 2. What is number 2 that most people bump up against that cause them to be disorganized, procrastinating, and showing up places late?
So, you got your big goals. Oh my God, what am I going to do with these? It's the lack of strategic planning.
Mm,
So, next, we map out the journey to those goals.
okay.
It's kind of like planning your rest stops on a long trip, or, where you're going to stop and visit, Aunt Sally, or visit the statue, or whatever.
Right.
So, one quarter at a time, but we move backwards. We look and we call this reverse engineering.
Put it in the chat. Hold on, Penny. Hold on, Penny. Put it in the chat. We call this reverse engineering. And I talked about this today, Penny. This is crazy. Reverse engineering. She's about to tell you about reverse engineering. Put it in the chat. Reverse engineering. Okay, go ahead. Break it down, Penny.
Okay, so in order to reach your December 31st, 2023 goals, what will I need to have accomplished by the end of September 2023? That would be the third quarter. So we're going backwards.
Right.
I actually put it on a huge newsprint sheet, and I put at the top December 31st, 2023. I'm about to do this in the next week or two for my goals. And then I come back a quarter, and it's September 30th, 2023. In order to have 50 people in a course, how many would I need to have by September? Well, maybe it's 25, because you're going to build momentum. Or maybe you need 40 by then, because you have to have other things, done.
Ooh,
So,
would this be too much to ask you to talk about the momentum thingy that you talked to me about the other day, or give them a little sense of that about
the
how to gain?
operating states?
Yes.
Okay, this is something I learned in Landmark at Worldwide. I'm giving them total credit for this. And I'm doing it from my head. I don't have a piece of paper.
That's right, but that's okay. Even look, y'all, write this down. Just write this down. It was so delicious for me the other day. I'm calling her out on the spot because okay, so Penny and I are in masterminds and things together. Like we are together. We're partners. We're buddy. We meet every week. We always in conversations. Okay, so she actually had a conversation with me about this yesterday or yes last week. So I want you guys to kind of just get a taste of it, right? Of what this whole thing about getting momentum or gaining momentum is about, because this will help you with your goals. And then if you want to take the class with Landmark, go take the class with Landmark. All right, we ready.
Yeah, the classes are effectiveness and velocity. After you've done the Landmark forum, you can take seminars, and it's the effectiveness and velocity seminars that talk about the operating states. All right, okay. So much for that commercial. So I think there's about 6 or 7. So when you're first starting out, you're in what's called formulation.
Right.
You're formulating, you're planning, you're putting it all together, you're figuring it all out. And then you start to take some steps, and that's concentration. Okay. There's a lot of work in formulation and concentration, and you're working and you're working and you're working and you're working, and then all of a sudden you get a little momentum. That's the so it's formulation step 1, concentration step 2, momentum step 3. So you're getting a little traction. People are starting to call you. People are hearing about it. This is great, wonderful. So the problem is there's a big pitfall in momentum. You get what we call enamored of the results. You fall in love with you. Oh, I'm making a little progress, and you take your foot off the gas. It's like you're
we on all your do trip. It too, Penny.
You're on your GPS trip, and you're going to be there in 7 hours. Oh, look, scenic overlook. Oh, picnic area. Oh, outlet mall.
I love it. I love it. No, y'all, just keep your foot on the gas. Put it in the chat. Keep your foot on the gas. When you get to momentum, keep your foot on the gas. Don't fall for the pitfalls and take your feet off the gas and start getting excited about the progress that you made. Because what's going to happen? It's going to slow down if you do that. It's going to slow down if you do that. And I think that's good. That's it right there. We can stop right there. I think that's enough. That's enough information to get. Like when you get the momentum behind you,
there's 2 below.
Okay, but they need to take the class to get the 2 above, the 2 below. Take the class, so you get that, right? You get that you need to keep your foot on the gas. When you start seeing results in your business, in your life, towards your goals, when that debt is coming down, don't go buy nothing, Miss Linda. Don't go add back to that debt. You keep going because you doubled your number. So whatever number you had in your head is double that. And even like now, because I told them I celebrated because I hit my quarter goal. And I had shared that with you earlier, right? And I was like, but I didn't stop there. I said, you know what? We're going to add some more money to this. Let's go. There's more month left. It's more money for me to earn, right? I got to up my ante. I'm not taking my foot off the gas. So now my mind is spinning like, okay, now I'm standing at the end of the year at my goal for what I wanted to generate. What do I need to do now? What steps and actions did I take? This is the reverse engineering. I'm standing on December 31 with my added number that I have. What steps did I take in order to get that extra money inside of my business, right? How did I serve my people? What did I give them that was going to bring them forward and what it was that they were working on? Okay, I'm sorry. Now, back to strategic planning where you were in. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. It's always good to, beef it out a little.
To expand, right?
What your people need, right?
That's it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Here we go.
So you've gone from December 31st to September 30th. Okay. Now, you fill in, all the steps. What am I going to have? What are the goals I'm going to need? What are the steps I'm going to have to take? What do I need to learn? Then you go back another quarter. By the end of June 30th, 2023, what do I need to accomplish in order to get to September and December goals?
Right.
And then by the end of March 2023, March 31st, what are the goals that I need to have attained by March so I can reach my June goals, so I can reach my September goals, so I can reach my December goals?
Okay.
And then in that first quarter, I can stop and then we'll do the first quarter.
No, go.
Okay. So the first quarter, that March, the one that ends in March, now you take that quarter and you go by month. So you've got by the end of March, by the end of February, by the end of January. What do you need to do in order to reach the goals for March?
Oh, yeah. I think we got to break down on how the system goes. But here is the thing. Think about what we just talked about in reference to momentum. Where you think all the momentum going to happen? Building up to the momentum is going to happen in the first quarter of the year. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
First and second, yeah.
Right? So if you haven't done no planning yet, no strategic planning for your first quarter of the year, I'm going to give you some opportunity to spend time with me at the end of the month. And I'm telling you, what I'm going to give you will help you get it together. Okay. It's going to help you get that mindset, get to a new way of thinking and living your life, that you ain't waiting until the last minute to get your strategic plan together for the first quarter, because the first quarter going to give you the momentum for the rest of the year. Put your foot on the gas to keep it on the gas. Like Tisha said, keep it on the gas. Put it in the chat. Keep your foot on the gas. Keep your foot on the gas. All right. So now that we kind of got the breakdown, what's the last point that we have that you want to tell us about?
Okay.
That will
well, I just wanted to add a few points.
Okay, go ahead.
Dineen's going to offer some time with you, but take some quiet time to think this through. Block out a few hours to do this, or work with a coach, or work with an accountability buddy, or a good friend, or a spouse, or something to work through, because they may have some suggestions on how you can get there that you can't do it by yourself.
And we both know of different end of the year. Like I know that Sean has an event that's coming up, and maybe too, Penny, you could come back and share what that end of the year plan would be, if it's all right. I mean, I'm sure she don't mind us advertising her event. Well, you can check it out and see, and if she got a problem with it, don't share it. And if she all right with it, share it.
I'm sure she would be.
Okay.
I'm sure she would be. Okay. I'm just trying to think what was the best way to get it.
Don't worry about that right now. You can figure that out after the call. Just my community know that there is an event happening, I want to say on January the 1st from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, or 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. See, don't say I didn't tell you. Go put it on your calendar now. You ain't doing nothing on January the 1st besides recuperate.
I think it's 2 to 5 Eastern.
Okay. Well, whatever time it is, Penny gonna come back and tell us. I promise. I'll update you on one of the lives once she talked to Sean and let us know if we can share it. But I'm telling you that there's strategic planning happening for the year right now. Like there's no excuse for you not to get inside of a community that's kind of doing these things consistently, like all the time. We complete our months every month. We complete our quarters every quarter. Like there's actions that need to be happening in order for you to be able to get the results and the things you need. But anyway, okay. Anything else you want to mention around strategic planning?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about completion is a way to get to say, be 100% responsible. This is what I did. This is what I didn't do. This is what I learned. This is what I need to say to be complete. This is what I need to hear to be complete. And what happens is it now clears the decks so that you have a wide open space to declare your new goal.
New thing.
Otherwise, you're just doing it on top of what's already there, and it's just a pile of manure.
That part.
But if you get that cleared away and you can start fresh, you have a whole different way of going. You also having other people to support you. Brainstorming is another wonderful thing. Like, okay, I've got these goals for December 31st. What are some ideas that I get 5 friends together? Give me some wild and crazy ideas of how I can accomplish it. Some of them won't be so wild and crazy, but it's okay. You don't judge them. You just get them down. Right. And when they're, when you've got 40, 50, 100 ideas, then you can go through and say, these 5 or 6 were really good. These, 10 maybe. And, these, this is just spaghetti against the wall that didn't stick. But it's really important to work with other people.
It really is. And I talk about brainstorming together all the time. Even through my live today, I talked about having a team and how my team came up with the ideas on what actions I was going to take this year, even in spite of what I felt like doing, because you getting results don't have nothing to do with how you feel. Get out your feelings, put it in the chat. I'm going to get out my feelings in 2023. I'm getting out my feelings. Get out of your feelings in 2023, because they ain't going to help you with this clearly setting goals and strategic planning. It don't matter how you feel. It's just what needs to be done in order for you to perform in a way to get the results that you keep talking about. So get out your feelings. Put it in the chat. I'm getting out my feelings. Get out my feelings. Get out my feelings. Because y'all think y'all feelings mean something, and your feelings don't mean nothing. It's just getting in the way. All right.
And
Are we
so that
ready
little
now?
voice in your head that was made up, like when you were a little kid and you raised
Right.
your hand in school and you had the wrong answer. Well, I'm never going to do that again. And then somebody asked you for a date and you didn't like them, or, whatever the stuff, you kiss somebody and they spit. I don't know. But we have these thoughts in our head. We think they're our real selves.
Yeah.
They're not. They're just meandering thoughts.
Yeah. Things
It's not
that's
the real
holding you
thing.
back from reaching your goals. So stop listening to yourself. Just stop and take the action. All right, let's Penny, we gotta go.
Okay.
We got 4 more minutes. So lack of pride. Let's go to the next one, because we almost out of
Okay.
integrity.
So once you come up with a list of all the tasks you have for the month, at this point you might feel a bit overwhelmed. However, there's another step. We now take the list of tasks for the upcoming weeks or month and sort them by priority level. I have a specific process for doing that, and I teach it to my clients. And my giveaway for this 12 Days of Christmas program is a free 30-minute session with someone to teach them this priority setting process. It's usually a $100 value, but it's the gift for the 12 Days of Christmas. I've gone through it with Dineen. And once your task list is in priority order, you just address the first task on the list. Check it off. Then the second, then the third. Once you stop carrying your to-do list and your goals in your head, get them down on paper in the order to handle the urgent and most important tasks first. Those big rocks, perhaps even having a buddy or accountability partner to whom you report daily. You will find your stress reduced as more items get checked off, and your happiness and your feeling of accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Now, life does happen, and sometimes things need to be added to your list. I find that the first week's tasks get handled pretty much in the order of my priorities, but by the time other items creep in after a few days, 10 days, I'm going to reprioritize the existing list with the new items about every 2 weeks. And I found that if I don't do the priority setting, I'm just thrashing about in my life ineffectively, and nothing's getting done, and I don't know what to do next, and then I get up in my head.
Yeah, and then it gets overwhelming. You just don't know where to start. So come on, y'all. You got to adopt some form of structure in your life. I know that sometimes it may sound like, oh, that's going to keep me too constrained, and I want to be spontaneous and I want to be flexible. Look, I can hear y'all talking that crazy foolishness right now, but that stuff ain't going to help you get to your goals and get to where you're saying that you want to get to. You got to really have structures that's going to help you fulfill on the things that you keep talking about. And having a group like to hold you accountable or to brainstorm with is a great start. Like that is something that you could do with your girlfriends, like right now. Like you could get a group of your business besties to come together. I'm gonna get my group together. You better know it. I got a group for health. I got a group for business. I got a group for personal development. Y'all don't understand. I'm mastermind over here. I got pods. I got buddies. I'm in a training and I got another buddy in another group. Y'all don't understand. It is so important to have people that you talk to that's up to what you're up to. Please, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to commit to. I want you to commit to getting some buddies this year. Like you need people that you meet with consistently every week. Can y'all commit to that? And if you commit to it, just put in a chat every week. I'm telling you, it will change your life if you have people that you talk to on a continual basis that will hold you accountable to the tongue that's in your mouth to make sure that it aligns with the tongue in your shoe. Do you understand what I'm saying? You think Penny don't be caught? Penny come with her list. Okay, Dineen, here's what you said. Here's what you said last week. Right? And you just own it. Whether here's the thing, you either took the action or you didn't take the action. It don't make you good or bad or right or wrong. It's just that you took the action or you did not take the action. But see, don't get mad when we get to the end of the quarter or the end of the month and you like, man, Penny, man, I didn't reach that. I didn't reach that number this time. Yeah, because you didn't take the actions. And this week right here, you pushed it to the next week. And this week right here, you pushed it to the next week. So don't play games with yourself. You'll see that in your performance, in the actions that you take or you didn't take, is why you didn't reach what you said you was going to reach. Okay. Tisha said every week. Linda said every week. LaShawn said, I commit to that. Okay, LaShawn, am I your buddy? That's my question. Am I your buddy? Or you going to get another buddy? Or is this another meeting for me? Just let me know so I can be prepared, and I'm going to put it in my calendar. All right, look. Anything else you want to say? Okay, so I dropped the link. I want you guys to register. Spend time with Penney. She'll help teach you the process. She did teach me the process. So she taught me the process to help me get my priorities in order, because I had a lot going on, like new ministry, new coaching program, new training program, like just whole bunch of stuff. And she's like, Dineen, come on, baby, let me teach you this system here, because see, this ain't gonna work. You can't keep coming here without some system to use so you can prioritize and really see what you're going to take action on or what you need to take action on. Because some of the stuff on our list, we can't kick it down the road because it's not a priority. It's not the big rock. Put it in the chat. Look for the big rocks. Put it in the chat. Look for the big rocks. And just because you've heard it and it's a common sense thing or common knowledge, don't mean that it's common practice. Come on, Brendan Burchard. Because he always says common sense don't mean it's common practice. So these are some things that you already know that you should be doing or looking at or doing, but you ain't doing them because the knowing don't make it so. The knowing don't make it so. It takes action, action, action. Put it in the chat. It takes action, action, action. Y'all remember the movie Action Jackson? But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Was that the name of the movie? All right, I'm telling my age. But anyway, okay, quick recap, Penney. What are the 3 steps? Let's just tell them what we told them.
Okay. Lack of clearly set goals. So you need to set your goals
okay.
for the coming year. Do the strategic planning, your reverse engineering, quarter by quarter, month by month, week by week, and then prioritize your tasks. And what you're going to find is when you start to put this stuff in your calendar, you can also put in break time or time for family or time for friends. So you don't need to I got too much to do. I can't spend time. You actually get to reduce your stress and you get to have time for the things you love.
Yeah. Penney had to get on me this year about that. Right. So I wasn't putting in breakdown time in my calendar. I wasn't putting in rest time in my calendar. Like I was trying to meet them goals. I was just going. And I get on a call with her, girl, I just got something. I'm just so tired. Oh my God, I need to get some rest. Oh, you didn't plan your rest, Dineen? That's your fault. You didn't put that on your calendar to rest? That's your problem. You need to do this. You need to put that on your calendar. You don't have breaks for breakdowns in your day? What you doing, Dineen? Right? Like that's how we hold each other accountable, right? It's not about feelings being hurt or stepping over stuff and not holding each other accountable about what we know to do. Because again, knowing doesn't make it so. You have to take the action. All right, Penney. I'm about to wrap this up. Here's what I want you to do. If you want to get in contact with Penney, so because there's only going to be one lucky winner. So I want to make sure that I share her information. So if you want to set up your own appointment with her, I'm dropping her link right now inside of the chat. All right.
And I offer a free 45-minute results discovery call where we can go through what you wish to accomplish and how I might be able to help you with that.
Okay. Now she's telling you what she got. Now y'all can mess around if you want to. I meet with Penney every week. She's my accountability buddy. In a mastermind group we in, don't play games. Now, if I'm meeting with her, if you know anything about me, she about the business. So if you want results, you want to get your life organized, then you need to go see Penney. All right? That's the rub. I hope you guys had an amazing evening. Thank you so much. Penney DePaul here, giving you guys pointers on how to really get a great life by being organized. Like, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. Organize your life, and I promise you, you're going to have more time to do the things that you really, really want to do, like the stuff that make you feel good. All right. I love you guys. Have an amazing night. 12 days of Christmas.
Thank you for your time and attention, and thank you, Dineen, for including me in your 12 days of Christmas session.
Thank you so much for contributing to my community, and thanks so much for being such an amazing contribution to my life, Penney, each and every day. I truly love you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too.
All right, y'all. Y'all have an amazing day out there. I see you guys tomorrow, 12th day of Christmas. LaShawn Michael is up. Estate planning. Get ready. Let's go. Get your estate planning together. That means your wills, your trust, and all that. Y'all need to come and hear about it because I'm telling you, the thing is one of them inevitable things. You know, like how you gonna get older. You're gonna leave here too. I hate to say it. I'm sorry, but anyway, bye. Y'all have a good night. Look, don't get down for Christmas. I see y'all tomorrow. LaShawn,